see, I'm Matt Roberts, and I'm from Athol, Mass.
I'm Courtney Drop, and I'm from Baldwinville. I'm Monica Dickendorfer, and I'm from Orange, Massachusetts. I'm Ashley Williams, and I'm from Leominster.
I'm Georgia Nobley, and I'm from Sterling, Massachusetts.
I'm Luke Pascale, and I'm from Barry, Massachusetts.
I'm Rachel Stillman, and I'm from Lunenburg.
I'm Tori Johnson, I'm from Orange.
I'm Tom Elbor, I'm from Gardner.
I'm Alicia Stokes, I'm from Hubbardston.
I represent Governor Patrick on all matters having to do with education, and we came up with this idea about a couple of years ago, really, to create the possibility that school systems and other partners like Mount Wachusett Community College might come together and form special schools with special purposes to address in a better fashion the needs of their students. In the early going on this, there were only 2 schools statewide that chose to come forward and start one of these schools early on, and this was one of them. So the first thing I want to say on behalf of Governor Patrick is thank you to all of you who pioneered this effort in your respective organizations, and we think this represents a major step forward in public education and in the way we deliver public education services in Massachusetts. We always had the hunch that within existing public school systems we could find opportunities for autonomous and semi-autonomous schools to exist. But we needed some pioneers to pick up the work and get it started. And that's what's happened here. I've been up here when this was just a plan, when it was just sort of a concept or a dream that folks had. And now I'm back and it's a reality, which is the most exciting thing in education, and I'm an educator myself. I thought I'd take a trip up and get a sense from you about this program, what you think of it, why you took an interest in it in the first place, how you came to be part of it, what it has meant to you, what your daily routine in doing this work has been, where you're going in terms of your hopes and aspirations and how this program will help you get there, what we could do to improve it and make it a better program. I would love to hear from you about this. Maybe we could start off and some of you could tell me a little bit about how you found out about the program and why you chose to enter a program like this.
And suddenly I get this call at my house from this guy who calls himself Mr. P. He says that he's starting this new program. First thing he says is, he says you may have to work through the summer. At that point I was like, eh. But then he said that it was free and that everything was being provided for me. If I didn't take this opportunity, if I didn't jump at this, then it would be probably one of the worst mistakes I ever made, because it was such a great opportunity. Instantly attracted to this vision he presented of what this program represented. And I left the meeting room feeling like I could conquer the entire world. Like anything, I could do anything. And that was really what started my excitement about this, was just the idea that I could just do anything right there. And if you couldn't tell, I kind of like to talk, and I kind of like to be around people. So I don't feel like it was any great loss there, but if somebody was to ask me, one thing I regret about homeschooling is I just didn't get to interact with people as much as I would like, and this program has kind of allowed that desire in me to flourish.
But my mom saw in the newspaper this program, and we checked it out, and I went to meet with Mr. P, and we were the only ones that met with him that day. The more he talked about it, the more I had my mind set on it. My dad wasn't sure if he wanted me to do this, but I made him. I made him.
Yeah, I mean, was it equal to the vision that was projected before you got here?
It was honestly better. I like the environment, and it's more free, and you have more choices on what you do and what you take. I like the fact that I'm getting my Associates Degree.
What do you learn? Once you get here, what are you learning?
So I kind of knew that I always wanted to do something with art, but going through high school, it's like nothing here feels like it's getting me much closer than I was the year before. Well, I'm in my first art class now. I'm able to take my art class. I've actually learned something. I feel like there's a lot better like instruction here. They won't try to teach it to you and make you take notes in a certain way or make you learn this in this way. You kind of learn what works for you.
Does that mean in order to be successful in this program you've got to be sort of an independent, self-guided learner?
Yeah.
like Mr. Graham, who was our FYE teacher, kept instilling into us, people are not going to do stuff for us. Whereas in high school, the teachers and everybody were really down on you to get you to do this and get you to do this and get you to do this, and they kind of did a lot for you. Whereas in college, you've got to be able to do stuff on your own.
And are most people who come into the program able to do that? Do they have the capacity to do that? Or do they get help? Do you get help at doing that? Is there an advising relationship, for example, that you have with somebody on staff here?
I visit Mr. P like every week.
And Miss Lincoln.
Yeah, Miss Lincoln helped me
go visit.
Do you meet together as a group? I mean, how do you develop your identity as a group, and what things bring you together?
I think one of the biggest things is we have those classes together. Because at
The
first,
initial classes.
we didn't really know each other as well, but through it, you really got to know the people you sat next to. It was.
And even though we're all kind of like split up this semester, I mean, there's still some people that have some classes together, but we all like make an effort to see each other between classes. We have a meeting spot, so if people want to go hang out there.
We, over the course of the first semester, we kind of became like this one big family. We all knew each other. We talked, laughed. Everybody didn't really have any issues. It was just everybody was a family. Who was it? Matt made a Facebook page for all of us, and we all joined.
Thank you, Matt.
And
Oh,
communicate through there, have group things. We kind of synced our schedules a bit. People would start posting what their spring semester schedule was going to be.
That at the end of next year,
Yeah.
you'll be finished. And what are some of you thinking about that happens after that? What's the next step after that? Yeah.
I want to be a ballerina.
You do? Are you taking dance classes now? Yeah.
We all knew after the first day that we wanted to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
even after
That's
the
good.
first day.
I'm not sure where I'm going to transfer, but I want to be a construction engineer.
Mhm.
So here I want to get that engineering associate's degree and then transfer somewhere to do construction engineering.
I think I'd like to own my own local music venue and art gallery.
I'm hoping to get my bachelor's degree and then go to Tufts University and get my veterinary medicine.
When I first came here, I wanted to be an obstetrician,
Mm-hmm.
but then in the CPT class, I totally changed my mind, and now I have no idea.
I came here wanting to go into computer graphic design,
Mm-hmm.
and I completely changed from that to pharmacy.
Thanks.
I want to be a physical therapist, and I want to transfer to a college down in North Carolina eventually.
Mm-hmm. You want to get warm.
I'll probably maybe do something like software engineering, because like I know my dad does it, and it kind of sounds like a very interesting thing.
Should we find a way to make more programs like this available to students in other places?
Absolutely.
What would it take to grow this kind of a program? And what would you change about this program to make it even better than it is?
One of my biggest problems is with the money for the textbooks is you can't get the extra money, financial aid.
Yeah.
So it makes it tougher.
But just to come up with like whatever it is, of $300 for books is like, it's hard.
But I can't resist kind of taking over your agenda for just a second.
Sure.
And just asking, where would you all be without this program?
High school.
Oh my goodness. Dreading every day. I come here and I'm so excited to see everybody, and I get to see all the people I've met, and it's just wonderful. Like in high school, it's distractions. Here, everybody wants to learn because most of the people are paying for their classes.
For me to have enough training hours in ballet, I would have had to get a GED, which is something I really didn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So with this program, I get the benefit of having all the hours, and I get my diploma, and I get an associate's. So it was what I wanted, but more.
Come back to the idea of what you change. What aspects of this would you change or improve upon?
The career exploring and the first year experience, I feel that they were pretty similar. So since a lot of it was the same information, I feel like those two classes were easier.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like having mandatory FYE and CPT.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I want to do. I've known it for a while, and I just felt like it was like very repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
CPT was just a class that was a little bit repetitive for me. So I think it should be made, at least eventually should be made available to younger students, like freshmen and sophomore, and I think they would be able to handle it.
There were classes I had to take before I could take certain other classes.
Prerequisites.
Yeah, and they're only available in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
so I'd have to wait, and I'd be a year
Another
behind.
cycle, yeah.
So I think if people knew what they wanted to do or something, they could be able to choose their major the first semester of their year.
I don't hear people saying that you miss a lot of the junior and senior year activities that you might get in your high school. One other thing I don't hear you saying, it ought to be a bigger program. It's a small program, so nobody's commented on whether it's too small, or any comments on either of those topics?
I mean, at first I was like, oh no, I'm gonna miss both my proms and everything, but Mr. P said he can set that up so we can go and bring who we want, so.
Good.
I'm gonna be playing baseball at Mahar
Good.
instead of Quabbin.
Yeah.
Better team anyway.
It will be because you're on it.
Quabbin's Division 1.
Oh, okay.
Mahar's Division 3.
I definitely, absolutely, in no way whatsoever miss high school.
Oh, Georgia.
Let it all out.
Yeah.
Just let it all
Yeah, really true.
Because, like, I don't know, there really wasn't all that much going on, and besides prom, which I really don't care about, I mean, if we all want to get dressed up and go eat food and dance, we can do that together. You know, but there's no point in going in a room where there's like 700 people and they're all dancing and eating food.
And most of them don't like each other.
Yeah, and there's always some sort of like drama or something going on. People are getting in fights. And
I'll just go to Club U.
yeah, we'll just all go together.
There's no drama here. Because drama, this person behind this person's back, this person hates this person's go with that with this person, that person wants to actually go with this person, but that person is confused about this person and kind of wants this person.
Yeah.
It was all... I even homeschooled, my friend would always talk about their drama and talk about this, and by accident I'd get involved in it because they'd come and be like, Tommy, what do I do about this? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, what is this?
Right.
So I know that a connecting factor between every single one of us is none of us miss the rampant drama that infests high schools nowadays.
Yeah. Good.
Tom Cruise hosts a TV show.
So is this program too large, too small, just the right size?
It's just the right size.
Yeah, it's just the right size. Yeah, I think if it can fill up a classroom.
What do you conclude from your experience here that if you were a school reformer, let's say, you would take back and change a high school in order to make it better?
I would change the schedules because it's 6 hours a day every day, and they tell you what classes to go to, when, and when you eat, what you have to eat. There's no
Sort of a
options.
factory model, we call it.
There's no options at all.
They took salt out of my school. Like, I like to eat, so that's kind of a problem.
But, we all had to take the mandatory like physics, bio, and then chemistry. And then if you wanted to choose one, like a science, your senior year, you could. So you're not really going anywhere until your senior year.
And you feel at an earlier age you're ready to make a choice, and if you want to choose not to do those things, you ought to be able to do it.
Or go in a different direction.
Some type of class similar to an FYE class or CPT, where you kind of get things settled. That's my mom. Right back.
Okay. As somebody who thinks a lot about these kinds of programs, how we can develop more of them, how we can develop more effective education, any advice any of you would have for me?
I think the arts need to be, the arts in the music department and performance opportunities and for like school plays and stuff. I think there should be more of that.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all. This is really it's exciting to me to hear how this has come to life, and especially gratifying to hear your enthusiasm and excitement and how much the program means to you. And it's obvious that you're doing your end of it, which is supplying effort and getting engaged and involved in it in ways that mean that you're going to get a lot out of it. And I'm confident from hearing each of you talk that you're going to make the most of this and turn it into a foundation on which to build your respective futures.